Hey guys. So we've now seen all the Lower Decks Challenger Series cards, and while AOT2 hasn't been something I'm working on, and I'll probably make a video on a character or two there that interests me, this guy's way too cool, and I wanted to talk about him right away because I made a deck with him last Friday, and it was the funniest thing, and I just I just want to show off what's going on with this guy because he is really, really sweet. So Brad Boimler, acting captain, is a 721 on Fire, Life, and Order. Um, and his enhance is on your turn, Botan's coaching. And then the second part works on both players' turns. If there are two or more attacks in a player's card pool, each player commits a foundation. So he's sort of Sero 2-ish. You kind of want to use some effects that ready cards in your stage and so on. You definitely could go like repeated 100% and stuff. I found this attack lineup way more interesting, but the other part of him is you can get damage by his response, which is after a rival commits one or more foundations during the enhanced step. This gets +1 or -1 damage. This is similar to a foundation from Yu Hakusho that was Team Uratogi locked, but we now have it on a character. So he can pump a little bit of extra damage. There's definitely potential. Something I was thinking about is like if you have a way of repeatedly committing things, he can get something very, very big. But generally, he's just going to get a bit of extra damage on your attacks. Um, so right away, this guy's the fire symbol and discards cards. So you can go very, very positive on hand size with both Wish Heart and Feral Shriek. I know Feral Shriek is getting pretty hard to get because of Burt 2 right now. However, this guy plays him very well, so if you have him, it's super neat. And then the other card that I just had to run in this character is Aura Strike. This is a reprint, Time Shift, but this card, being a two check, is obviously a downside and probably draws you so many cards that you don't actually need this effect in this kind of deck. But it's just so funny. Like the draw one for each card your rival has discarded this turn just means draw one for every attack you've played. You can pump this with Botan's coaching as well. And then there are times you play into Bertolt too, and he's activated his effect a few times, and Aura Strike just says, yeah, I'm gonna draw like 5, 7, 9 cards. Um, so I guess the second part of this is like, well, what do we do with the cards in our hand? Um, we can build super wide and play Genkai's Guidance on their attacks. We have some discard outlets with Chronically Dehydrated. I could run Sacrifice for the Cause, and then don't do this as well to give stun. So like we have a little bit of stuff. This is the other card that does a lot with you drawing like 10. This can just commit to give a huge bonus on an attack once your opponent can't block it. Genkai's is a one of, but the the reason it's only a one of is Ready Shot can pick it up. So as we're stringing out, we just need to have it somewhere in our discard, and we can pick it up and just play it on their turn on whatever move we want. Um, so that's kind of like the core synergies of this deck. There's a lot of card draw. We have Final Test is activatable for him very easily. Unexpected Hero is also very easy to activate the response on it. Um, and then where's his card? What's it called? Beta Shift. So this card's great because your opponent might try and play around this character by building out their hand. And you have two options then. You can choose to just not use his enhance and try to just kill them while they can't block. Or you can just say, no, you'll have I'm going to draw a card. We both will have one. And then I will make you start cycling that card again. A couple other interesting pieces of tech here. I mean, while we still have Ord the Victor, this card's amazing and very great with Final Test. So you can set up some loops there. It is a 3-diff in our 2-check deck. The way that we are kind of skirting that is this card gets both of its effects off fairly easily in this character, which is very cool. So if you discard like Wish Hard to Brad's effect, it'll remove and it won't be the top card of your discard. However, you can pitch a foundation that you want to build and then remove a committed foundation, build in your reward the victor or whatever, and keep going. This is the most blockable move of all time, so it's probably not supposed to be here. I just think it's a very neat card, and it works very well with these kind of cycle effects. Like I love it in like Suzuki and so on. We're committing out their stage, so walk the dog is kind of a given. You don't have to run this. There's probably some other attacks you could use, but it just makes a lot of sense as a powerful outlet. And then the last card is on their attack lineup is Patchwork Baby. This card gets a lot of keywords. So it has 4 on itself that do not share with Aura Strike, so that's 7 that do not share with Knee Smash, so it can get +9 off those 3 attacks. Readied Shot has ranged, which is unique to Walk the Dog and Aura Strike, so Ready Shot does give you an additional, and then Walk the Dog will give 2 if it's Walk the Dog and Patchwork in your card pool, and then I think this is Fury, yeah. So you have a decent, like, mesh of keywords for this to get damage, and then as is, like, this deck wants to poke a couple times, get some momentum, maybe off a Hacker Extraordinaire or whatever, and then your Patchwork Baby can be extremely threatening. So I like this card in this deck quite a bit. I think that kind of covers most of it. On defense, our character is not totally blank, but not amazing. So just a few things. We have Genkais. I'm running a couple Runaways. We're going to see them because we're drawing, but this also helps us pay down to Desperation. That's the other very neat thing about this deck. Fierce Wings adds a card with difficulty 3 or less. So when we are in Desperation, that actually picks up this Aura Strike and allows us to keep playing. While this also just has the double effect of like, yeah, I'm gonna go get the Genkais that I couldn't get before. If we wanted to run Showdown, we could pick that up. And then if they're trying to stun us, we could build in a piece that's super important. Um, Overall, I probably want to make this deck a bit more defensive. I was just kind of working on the draw a bunch of cards out of the gate kind of idea. Um, but yeah, I think that covers everything I wanted to talk about in this deck. Oh, you're finished. On the foundation side, you can discard a copy of the attack you're playing to flip this and draw. Um, we have these 10 ready foundations here. Capture the target readies after you can commit it to Brad or to pass your checks. Same for acrobatic style. Very easy to ready it in this deck. Incompatible quirks is just going to ready constantly. And we are drawing so many foundations that we can really fuel this card very well. And that pretty much covers kind of my ideas behind this character. I mean, I think honestly, if you're gonna play him at a competitive level, you probably aren't doing Aura Strike stuff. I will keep trying to make it work because I love Aura Strike and think that it's just a very funny card, particularly in a Burt 2 like meta where we're seeing a lot of draw discard going on. It can just fill your hand very quickly, but you are very uh, very low HP at 20. 21's not the lowest, but it's definitely very easy to die currently. Godzilla will just hit you twice and then you're basically dead and so on. And then the offense is I'm still figuring it out. I think there's maybe a world you run more pro hero rankings or whatever and just try and pump 10 on something. But this character draws a lot of cards. He was really neat. And I wanted to talk about him. In terms of like AOT2 stuff, I will probably take a look again. I was just trying to think of who I've been working on. I like Historia a lot, but her attack package is incredibly expensive. Um, Kenny's caught my interest a little bit. Yeah, there are a bunch of decks that interest me. I don't really want to make a video about one that people have already kind of explored and talked about. I like making these decks that explore ideas that aren't as well known. So this was definitely the most interesting lower decks character to me. And then from that series, I'm also messing with Sam a bit, and yeah, we'll see where we go from there. But um, yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully, these kind of videos, this obviously isn't the most refined deck, but like my idea behind covering these and explaining my thoughts is that like someone can take them and sort of, if they want to work on a Brad deck, go, okay, yeah, that idea is really cool. I want to include that and go forward. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time.